A good start. Witch's hat down, witch's hat down. Bless him. How we doing, ladies, gents and teddy bears? That's right. Well, it's a spooky RAF Lakenheath. How we doing, ladies, gents and teddy bears? It is the Ted Coningsby channel. And we're live here for some spooky stories. How we doing? No, don't worry, I won't be doing that voice. Look at this. Ted and I, look at it. Look at this there now. How we doing, ladies, gents and teddy bears? Welcome to the Ted Coningsby channel. We're live here at Spooky. It's going to be a spooky day today. I don't know if we're going to get any takeoffs today. We'll see. I believe potentially the morning slot has probably most likely been cancelled. It is absolutely ghastly. We're here home of the 48 Fighter Wing. My name's Nikos. This is your presenter. Squadron leader, Witch Ted Coningsby. And we're here at a USAFE base, the United States Air Force in Europe. This is home of the 48th Fighter Batwing. Gotta be Halloween themed, man. It's cold. It's spooky in the cauldron here at RAF Lakenheath. Hope we're all good, ladies and teddy bears. So we're hoping to see F-15E Strike Eagles and F-35s. Now, I know what you're thinking. Look at this. How much thrust to weight ratio is this? Oh, goodness me, Ted. Off you go, mate. Look at this. So, Ted, that's not very Halloween themed at the moment, mate. But this is the known as a besom. We chose witch and witches and the witch theme because it's aviation, right? Broomsticks, besoms as they're called traditionally. It's aviation. This is aviation, man, at its finest. Look at that. I mean, it's a bit like the Mosquito, made out of wood. I don't know what weapons and armament you can fit on this. I don't know I mean, it's good for low-level attack and reconnaissance, I would have thought, Ted. Ted, go and get your hat, mate. He's off to go and get his hat. Welcome to the Ted Coningsby channel. As you could not see, it's not very clear here today. It's absolutely ghastly. Look at it. It's worse than last time we were here. And hopefully we'll get you some action. Hopefully. They're running. They're running. Ladies, gents, teddy bears. How we doing? So this is a spooky Halloween themed Ted Coningsby live stream. Ladies, gents and teddy bears, welcome to RAF Lakenheath, home of the 48 Fighter Wing. And We're going to keep it Halloween themed. Yes, Lakenheath is actually haunted as well. It's got a few ghost stories, so won't be going too much into the history, but I'm going to link it with some of the ghost stories. There are some incidents that have happened that make this place spooky all at night here at RAF Lakenheath. This is why you can't camp here at night, because someone will come and get you. Those that know, in 1940, RAF Lakenheath was a decoy airfield, all right? So in 1934, RAF Mildenhall was built, and it was operating from the 16th of October 1934. First aircraft there were the Hayford bombers. And from there, 2 years later, there was RAF Feltwell was built as well in 1936. Slap bang in the middle to protect and defend both bases. They built an airfield here at Lakenheath Warren. It wasn't an active RAF base. What they did, they made Lakenheath a decoy airfield. All right, now check this out. They made it into a decoy airfield. That means a fake runway. It's not a real runway. In fact, the village or hamlet of Eriswell, they supplied the plywood to make fake Wellington bombers. They had them lined up. It's a deception. There were two types of decoy airfields called a K site and a Q site. K site for daytime operations, Q site for nighttime. And all that would be involved was to make Lakenheath look like Mildenhall, like a fake airfield, so that it got attacked instead of Mildenhall. This would mean, because Lakenheath was a decoy airfield for nighttime operations, a Q site, that would mean an officer in a bunker operating all the lights to get the landing lights on and the runway lights on, and operate the little lights of all the hangars. It was fake, it's deception. In fact, Lakenheath was attacked 5 times, so that saved Mildenhall and potentially Feltwell as well. On one night, on a very cold winter's night with the moon, full moon out, an officer was on a night shift there to run the operations on a Q site. The officer was doing his regular checks, ultimately checking to see if there's any enemy approaching with the radar and communicating with the other bases. And one night he heard the sound of a Wellington bomber. This was not unusual, because this Wellington bomber was around during 1940 at RAF Mildenhall. In fact, RAF Mildenhall had 149 and 199 and other squadrons operating the Wellington bomber, especially 419 as well, with the Royal Canadian Air Force. However, this Wellington bomber sounded a bit too close. Now, this wasn't unusual for the officer. We'll call him Officer John Rose. He was activating the lights and he could hear the Wellington bomber getting closer and closer. He looked out to see what was going on. The Wellington bomber was heading for this way, but this wasn't an active runway. The Wellington bomber actually landed on the runway. With no communication from the pilot of the Wellington bomber, he communicated Mildenhall to say, "You've got a Wellington bomber here. This isn't a real runway. What's going on? Is it yours?" They said no. So he contacted Feltwell. Officer Rose contacted them and they replied, "Sorry, not one of ours." The Wellington bomber then took off and was never seen again. Whose was it? No one knows. No one ever seen it. They didn't even show up on the radar. But Officer John Rose was wondering, who was this? Who was flying this Wellington? And it was never seen again. And sometimes on a full moon, you can hear the sounds in the distance of a Wellington bomber. Who was it? Also, RAF Lakenheath is also haunted by Lakenheath Charlie. Now, the story I learned the other day, Lakenheath Charlie in the 1950s was riding his bike, and it wasn't unusual for Lakenheath Charlie to ride his bike around the airfield. But unfortunately, he was actually killed and struck by an aircraft. But one night in 1950, officers were on patrol, and the usual story is that you coordinate and communicate when you've got members of the members on foot around the airfield or on a bike. Now, on one night in 1950, there was reports from Tower that there was a man on the runway cycling. There was a cyclist on the runway. So the security forces came out to inspect. that the guys on the runway the guys in the Humvee couldn't find the cyclist. And Tower said he's about 50 foot in front of you, so they carried on the runway. Tower then communicated to say he's right there, right in front of you, keep going, you'll see him. The Humvee with the 4 security forces went to find this person, didn't find him, didn't see him. There was nowhere to be seen of this cyclist, even though Tower had reported to them. They communicated and they were freaked out, got back in the car and left. And apparently you can still see, apparently Lakenheath Charlie can haunts the viewing area or the hangars at night. Wow, a bit spine-chilling. So I'm keeping the ghost theme this week, today, sorry. Actually, we could do it this for the rest of the week maybe, and apparently Lakenheath Charlie can actually operate some of the lights. Apparently he's seen with a red lantern around here. This is true, it's on the RAF Lakenheath and Mildenhall ghost stories on their official United States Air Force page. It's a thing, it's real, it's a Lakenheath Charlie. I like the one about the bomber that landed and just no one knew who it was. You know, I've got a few friends that are in the forces, and when they're on guard at night, sleep deprivation can play tricks with you at night. And I've heard some really interesting stories. This one not related to RAF Lakenheath. A friend of mine many years ago was in the Royal Marines. I don't know if he still is, but it was in the Royal Marines and out on Dartmoor. Now there's a tale, there's a story about the Dartmoor witch, and trees start moving at night. Anyway, my friend was on guard at night with his rifle, and I think he'd been up for 48 hours non-stop, back-to-back guard, and he was adamant this tree was moving at night. And obviously you can't really start firing because that would mean you're under attack, which it shouldn't really happen. How did this person or people get here? Why is this attack happening? Anyway, the tree was getting closer and closer to him, and he was like trying to wake himself up, or at least actually not wake himself up because he was falling asleep, because you'll be in trouble, you'll be a court-martial if you did that. But he was trying to just actually come to terms with himself that he was actually seeing this. And it was getting closer to a point where he did actually open fire, which his CO was not impressed. And then the tree just disappeared. There we go. Spooky. Right. The weather has deteriorated here very badly. Welcome to the Halloween special. I remember last time we did who's this? Now you can definitely see that person on screen. How spooky is this? On the catwalk. Marco, thank you very much. Two Terriers, thank you as well. Thanks for the super chat, Marco Baxter. Thanks for the super chat, Lorraine at Nomadic Ramblings. Congratulations on your 3 months membership. Boo! Thank you, Ted, Nikos, Spanner Crew, and TCS. So, unfortunately, we're not going to get quick climbs in this. We'll be lucky to actually get a departure in this. This is worse than our last foggy stream, but it is a Halloween special. Anything could happen. This is the Ted Coningsby channel, home of anything that could happen. Let's have a little look around here now. And a happy birthday to Mrs. Davy, Bev. Bev, happy birthday. Ted's just gonna pop on the screen there now. Wish Bev, that's Mrs. Davy, a happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, squashed pumpkins. Happy birthday, Bev. Thank you for making Ted scarves, which will be featured on our show. Bev kindly made Ted 3 lovely scarves, which we will be featuring on the show during the colder times. Happy birthday, Bev. Bev, happy birthday. Sorry. Bev, Mrs. Davey, happy birthday. Actually, last Halloween, on this day 2023, Ted flew with the 495th Fighter Squadron and Tail 5600. That's a true story as well. So at night, with all the witches and bats and all the other flying characters, Ted was flying amongst them. I think Ted flew at night as well. That was pretty cool. So, we're going to have Witches March today, not Guards March today, on this Halloween themed. Right, let's get you. So, Margot, thank you for gifting a Ted. Oh, yeah, you're right there. Margot, thank you for gifting a Ted Coningsby membership. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot, Margot. A Witches March for Margot Baxter. Thank you for gifting a Witches 5. Nigel Bullen, congratulations, member for 12 months. Oi, oi, made it. Congratulations. Thank you for being a member for 12 months. Thank you for that. Guards Witches March. Michelle Fuller, member for 13 months. Our 16th wedding anniversary today. Well, happy 16th wedding anniversary, Michelle. A Witches March for you. Michael L, member for 17 months. Morning all. Oi, oi. A Witches March to you as well. Two Terriers, congratulations. Been a member for 8 months. Oi, oi, TCS crew. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween to you. A Witches March. Hayley Gilby, member for 8 months as well. Witches March. Margot Baxter for Ted's special Halloween salmon bagels. Guards March. Witches March, sorry. Gotta get used to that. Witches March to you. Thank you very much. Two Terriers as well. Thank you very much. Witches March for the super. Thank you. Lorraine at Nomadic Ramblings, member for 3 months. Boo! Thank you, Ted. Nikos, Spanner Crew, and TCS. A Witches March for you. Bob Mac UK, Spooky Stream Time. Love the hats. Witches March for you. Margot, thank you very much for gifting a Ted Coningsby membership. Witches March. Simon Watchorn, Witches March for you. Thank you for gifting a Ted Coningsby membership. That's right. Lovely, Ted, lovely. Right, so we do have F-15E Strike Eagles and F-35A spooling at the moment. Now, whether they take off or not, that's our other issue. Sounds like they're on the move, though. Let's see. I mean, it's all in the name of safety at the end of the day. I know they're all-weather aircraft. I get that. But this is all training, ladies, gents, and teddy bears. They're not going into combat. There's no need to risk a pilot's life, depending on the skill level of the pilot. So I believe the first lot have probably been cancelled. You're welcome, Davey, anytime, mate. I would have thought they'd been cancelled because they're usually up by now. But in this, it's ghastly. Ceiling height, I think, is about 300 to 600 feet. Cloud base, that's a fail, isn't it? Thanks for joining us on this special Halloween treat. And the sound I didn't want to hear, a shutdown. Oh dear. I don't know if they're taking off today, you know. I really have a bad feeling. Okay, so at this moment in time, it doesn't sound good. It sounds like the F-35s have shut down as well. I can't see any departures for a long time, ladies, gents, teddy bears, unfortunately. This is reminding me of our Valentine's Day stream. But I like being proven wrong, because that means the opposite, which means it's good. But the F-35s are definitely just shut down. It's now sounding quiet. Oh dear. Well, we could turn it into a Halloween ghost story session at the moment. Let me just go and get my radio, because this doesn't sound good at all. Oh, right. It's not sounding good. Hi mate, all right? Unfortunately, it doesn't sound good. It sounds like they've all shut down, so this isn't good. It happens. The weather does get the final say. How we doing, ladies, gents, teddy bears? Welcome to RAF Lakenheath, home of the United States Air Forces in Europe. Home to 4 combat-ready squadrons. That's the 492nd Fighter Squadron, the Mad Hatters, locally known as the Bowlers, and they fly the F-15E Strike Eagle. Guns up! Hope we're all good and tuned in over there. And next up, we've got the 493rd Fighter Squadron, the Grim Reapers. They fly the F-35A. Ah, feel the Reaper. Next up, we've got the 494th Fighter Squadron. Now, they fly the F-15E Strike Eagle. Bleed red. And next up, we've got the 495th Fighter Squadron, the Valkyries, who, after 30 years of being deactivated, came back in 2021 to make Lakenheath the very first USAFE wing with the F-35A. And they were once, during their time, 1977 to 1991, they were flying the F-111 Aardvark. They were known as the Thunderbarks then. And like with all the squadrons here at RAF Lakenheath, they've played a major part and major legacy during their time when they got here in 1960, but previous to that in 1943 and 44, when they started to set sail to RAF Ibsley in the UK. With just the 3 squadrons at that time, the 495th stayed behind and didn't actually activate until another 34 years later. A lot of history, a lot of legacy, a lot of aircraft being flown, some legendary aircraft in their times as well. But unfortunately at the moment, the weather has actually got worse. In fact, when the mighty 8th were making their ventures into Britain, there was a choice. There was the Mediterranean. There was also Africa. No one wanted to come to England due to the weather and the cold and the bitterness. So they when they got the news that we're coming to England, they weren't looking at Caribbean skies and things. They sadly got this, and it plays today, even today, wreaking havoc on their operations and training. Look at it, it is abysmal, and it does sound like all engines have just shut down. Oh dear. You alright there? How you doing? We do, they're online. Yeah, we sell them online. We got like the car decals and bits and pieces. Yeah, they're online, buddy. All right. Thank you.
It's meant to get a bit sunny at 2.
At 2?
Around
2? It's 8:50. Yeah, I doubt they'll be flying today. I really have a bad feeling this will be it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we shall see. Oh dear. Well, ladies and gents, teddy bears, if you are here in the viewing area, there is a Dave's Burger van. You can get yourself a lovely burger, bacon roll. Thanks Harvey and Ben, HBC TV. Oi oi. Thanks for my bacon roll. In fact, a witch's march for you both for that. This does not look good. Yeah, no worries. Bex, how you doing? White Wizard, what up? Synchrotones, Jenny B, Davey, Margot Baxter, Wee Stevie Boy, Karen Glenn, Angela Farley. How's it all going? Andre Krushka, how you doing? Blocks. Hope we're all well. Unfortunately, this is the way it can be. Yeah, Guards March. Sorry, a witches. This is not going well, is it? Should we try again, Ted? Here we go. Take 2. Witches March for my super bacon roll from HBC TV. Thank you very much. Harvey and Ben, thank you so much. Good to see you again as well. A Witches March. Susan Kelly, a Witches 5 and a Witches March for gifting a Ted Coningsby membership. Thank you very much. Good to see Martin Skeet as well with Battle Dev. Oi oi. Sporting their amazing TCS hoodies. Sean M, member for 16 months. Morning, Ted. Happy Halloween from Eloise and Evie. Gary Lockton, Witches March to you. Thank you for the super chat. Andrew Arland, here he is. Andrew Arland, how you doing, man? Happy Halloween. Member for 7 months. Happy Halloween, Ted and Nikos. A Witches March for you. And Nick Simpson, man. Thank you very much. High five. A Witches 5. And a Witches March. Thank you for gifting 10 Ted Coningsby memberships. Bless you. We haven't had anything, and the support on here is immense. Thank you so much. Karen Glenn, Witches 5. Congratulations, member for 17 months. I just adore this stream. Thank you. Thank you. Alan Burden, member for 17 months. Thanks, Nikos and Mods. Been a great 17 months. Thank you very much. Witches March. David Harrison, Witches March to you. Thanks for the super. Nick 1744F, welcome to the Ted Coningsby Fighter Squadron. Witches 5 and a Witches March, thank you very much. Carry on, Ted. Gary Lockton, Witchless Hat March for you for being a member for 13 months. Ted and his broom. I wonder what the thrust to weight ratio is on that, man. I don't think you'll see that on ADSB. Not sure what mode that transponder uses, but I know that it uses boom to refuel that. Yeah, unfortunately, this is a bit emotional, isn't it? Car park is absolutely full. and the radio, unfortunately, is dead. Right, what we'll do, I might actually... yeah, this... yeah, so all aircraft have shut down at the moment, unfortunately. We'll try and ride this out, see what happens. Looks a bit like Mordor out here, doesn't it? Proper Mordor. Mordor conditions going on. Wee Stevie boy, Witches March for moggy conditions. Oh man, thank you. Thanks all of you for the support. It's unreal. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Wee Stevie boy, Witches March for you. Thanks for the super. Right, let me see what we can do. What I could do is roll in a bit more, maybe I'll get some history going. Let's have a look. We'll do a Q&A. Would you like a Q&A with me and Ted? Let's have a look. Would you like a Q&A with me and Ted? How's that? Yeah, I'll tell you what we'll do. Yeah, we'll do a little Q&A, because they're normally quite good. Should we do a Q&A with me and Ted? How's that? Yeah, let's do it. Let's get... Ted, where's your hat, mate? We'll do a Q&A while we're here, actually. While we're waiting for this ghastly Mordor conditions to deplete. How's that? What do you reckon? Should we do a quick Q&A?
Of course I took no notice of it, kept driving.
How we're doing? Let's do a quick Q&A, here we go.
2 months later.
Q&A would be good.
But I'm not going to renew it when I'm 65, just you have to get it done every year. And I'd have to pay for it myself. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully, yeah. But we're like you, our house is worth a lot more.
Here we go. Q&A. How's that? Let's have a look. Oh, we got some buffer, have we? Oh dear, hang on, give me a minute. We got a situation, have we? Hang on, did this the other day, didn't it? Give me a sec. Let me see if I can ride something out here. It is Halloween after all. Hang on.
Has anything gone up yet?
No, I can't see them going up for a little bit. Just let that ride for a minute. Should sort itself out. Give me a sec before we do our Q&A. I'll try and get your questions sorted out. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Here we go.
40, 60, you're not having 40, you know what I mean, 60.
How we doing? Right, here we go. Let's
Yeah. Her last job was a parcel sister. But she hasn't needed to work.
Right, let me get Ted ready. And let me just sort that out there. Right, cool. Let me roll back to your questions. Let's have a look what we got here. Here we go. Right, where are we? What's your favourite... Margot Baxter, what's your favourite Halloween film? Mine is Woman in Black. I really do love that film. It's really good. I've seen the original as well. That's brilliant. I love that. The Woman in Black is my favourite little film. And the second one as well. I do like that one. Yeah, Synchro Tones as well. What's Ted Coningsby's favourite spooky movie? Yeah, it's The Woman in Black. What is your favourite ancient ruins? Sound in and out. Oh dear, got some sound issues. Yeah. Let's have a look.
11th place, quite old, but... Oh yeah.
Okay, hang on. Let's have a look. Where are we? Just scrolling back to your questions. Okay, so what is your favourite ancient ruins to visit with witchcraft history? Oh, good question, Bex. Ancient ruins with witchcraft history. Oh, good question. Let's have a think. With witchcraft. Interesting, that's a good one. It'll have to be the Rollright Stones, actually. The Rollright, if you've ever heard of the Rollright Stones in Oxfordshire. So the knights weren't allowed to pass. They weren't allowed to pass, so they were turned to stone, and you can see the Whispering Knights, they're called. And the witch turned herself into an elder tree or something like that. It's been a long time since I did that, but that's it's a nice stone circle linked with witchcraft, and that's in Oxfordshire. Good question, nice one, Bex. Captain A, where was your favourite place, Devon, Cornwall, you went last week? Okay, so Cornwall, my favourite place. Good question. I really enjoyed. Thanks, Craig. Thanks, Craig Bruce. Thank you. And let me think. Let's have a look. What's the spookiest sounding aircraft? Hang on, let's have a look. So, Captain A, where was your favourite place in Devon, Cornwall you went? I really love Porthleven. Really loved that place. That was really good. Really nice place that I went to. Really good. Really recommend that. Did enjoy going on Bodmin Moor. I'm going to say overall Bodmin Moor, because it's always my favourite there anyway. It's quite spooky. But Porthleven was a lovely harbour as well. Let's have a look. What's the spookiest sounding aircraft, says Synchro Tones? Oh, F-22. That's really spooky, the way that fires up. Have you visited haunted places where there were real witches? Edward Coates, actually, I've actually met real witches, right? Like this, okay, just bear with me. So when I was doing wedding photography, I would do hand fasting. So a lot of the hand fasting, I would meet witches and high priestess. So I have actually met them. What is the most scary plane ever built? Snowing Master 738. Scary plane. Good question. Someone put the Phantom. Yeah, probably. Scary plane. Yeah, it's a very hard one for me to... a scary looking plane. I think the most scary looking plane would be an A10 Thunderbolt, I think. Dave Holloway, who knitted your hats? Bought them in a shop in Glastonbury. The SR-71 is the most sinister by far. Probably. Yeah, definitely. Perez, Mattman Bush, what has been your most scariest moment on a live stream? Scariest moment for me is that C-17. That was probably the most scariest for me. That was, I nearly bailed. I nearly put the camera down and legged it. I know it was under control. I get it. I totally get it. No, nothing to worry about. But I absolutely legged it. It was when I went, Paul Weaver. That's a good question. How did you come into working with Ted? Ted was won in a raffle, and it was. I'll tell you. I'll come back to that one, Paul. I'll tell you the whole story. It's quite a nice story. Alex Raven, how many aircraft are based at Lakenheath? Millions. Let's have a look. Stephen Billings, Air Godzilla, will you be doing an old base tour walk around Paddington? And if so, when? Well, I'll have a look. I'll try and plan that in at some point. It's been such a busy year. Unfortunately, the lost airfields have actually taken a bit of a, not a setback, but just been concentrating on getting you the live feeds. Wee Stevie boy, have you ever witnessed something you cannot explain? There was an incident, but I could explain it. It's a spooky story. Craig Bruce, congratulations, welcome to the Ted Coningsby's Posh Officers. Yeah, so I don't know if anyone's familiar in the Bristol area. Chew Magna, there's Chew Valley Lake. There's picnic areas, and it was dark, and it was just before it was closing the gates for the picnic areas around the area. And I needed to go. Call of nature. I needed to go to the toilet, but I wasn't alone. It was my friend driving the car, and there was two of my friends in there. And I call of nature, and there was public toilets there. So I went to the loo, and I know it's really bad, like too much detail, but I went to the toilet, and my friends were there, and it was dark, and they had the light on so I could see them. If it was one of those buildings, it was a public toilets in the picnic area, and I went to toilet, and I was sat there, and the next thing happened. The lights went off. Okay, nothing unusual about the lights going off. I was like, oh dear, it's dark, I can't really see anything, and I had to visualize my route out. It was like, I was like, I could probably find the taps. I don't know how bright it was outside, but it was completely pitch black. So and then I heard footsteps. That was the bit that got me. It was dark, footsteps in a public toilet, but I thought, hang on, it's got to be my mates, it's got to be my friends. And I flushed the toilet, and I remember this, right? I had this thing, and the footsteps were getting closer, and I was like, oh my goodness me, and I started to freak out, and I was like, I'm going to open that door and just sharp left straight out the door. As I took a sharp left, I felt this hand just touch my face as I ran. And expecting to see one of my friends missing out of that car. They were both in there. I was like, and that's when it struck me. I was like banging on the door, like, let me in, and they were both in there. And I was like, did you see someone go in the toilets? And they said no. And I'm like, so I just, it's not paranormal. I just think it could have been the man that looks after it and closes it, but still, it was scary. So the answer to how did Ted come about? Let's have a look. Where is it? Was it Paul? I think it was Paul. Was it Paul Weaver that said that? Yeah, so Ted was literally by accident. Like I said, he was won in a raffle by Claire's daughter, and COVID came. So it was 2019 December. Ted was not in my possession yet. And then COVID came to the country, and it was all lockdown and all that stuff. And I wanted to cheer people up, put a smile on people's faces, because it was lockdown. So I wanted to cheer people up, and I came up with this crazy idea to fill a bridge in Peterborough with teddy bears. And I asked lots of people if they can give me bags of teddy bears that they didn't want, so I can just put them on the bridge. And Ted was in one of the bags as I pulled it out to see what I had in there, and Ted was in there, and I looked at Ted and I was like, oh no, I like this one, I'm going to keep him. So Ted was a car mascot for a little bit, And it was only when the rules started to get a little bit more free, you know, free for us, you know, because I was doing wedding photography, so that business just went out the window, and I was waiting and waiting for the rules to be lifted a little bit. But you could do weddings eventually. You could have like 30 people, social distancing, that kind of thing. And I was driving to my to a gig at Woodhall Spa, which is close to RAF Coningsby. As I was driving to Coningsby, the lights came on. And you meant to stop, right? I did something better than that. Instead of stopping, I parked on the lay-by just before the lights. I thought, I'm going to get a video. And I say I did something better than that, because all I did was literally, I got Ted, and I recorded Ted with the Typhoon. I saw Ted in the car, and I was like, I'm going to film him just watching the Typhoon. I did that, really. That's all I did. Posted on Facebook. People liked it. And then I got to know a little bit more about Coningsby, and then I found out about a Typhoon display pilot, and then I filmed Ted just watching Saint T's display, and it was from that I posted it on Facebook, and Saint T got in contact with me, and flew Ted on the maiden flight of Blackjack. And it kind of went on from there. It didn't establish as a military channel, but it was amazing to see the footage of Ted flying in Blackjack, and it went on. It went on from there, really, and then I decided to turn it into a military aviation channel.
I had an eyesight test last January, and they said you got something wrong behind your eye. So hospital came the next day, said you better come off. I thought, oh, yeah, that's actually bad. So I went up.
Let's have a look. What else we got here? I'll tell you what, got some Guards marches. Craig Bruce, thank you for joining the Posh Officers Club. Guards Witches March. And then Christopher Grooms, Witches 5, and a Guard Witches March. Thank you. I keep saying Guards March, don't I? Witches March. Thank you very much. Matt Foster, how you doing? Alan Gates, how you doing? Paul Martin, what's the longest stream that you've done? It wasn't that long ago. It was 10 hours 45, wasn't it? When the Mountain Home F-15s came as well. Can't even see the tower. There's nothing at the moment, unfortunately. Yes, might even see Lakenheath Charlie as well.
Is it clear with the red? Oh, I don't know, it's about the same. Is it clear with that? I don't know. can't bloody see it. Yeah. Well, what they want is I've got some binoculars in it, and they put them on the turn so it's clear. You should go on the other side, seriously. Right, that's what you need.
See AWCU. Must be very eerie out there. I know for from listening to a couple of the AWCU crew that are on nights, I find it very eerie, especially at Coningsby because it's a 24-hour base. Especially when things start playing tricks on your mind, or the mind playing tricks at night. Must be quite an adrenaline rush to be on an airfield at night. So this is the Airfield Wildlife Control Unit, just doing their thing. They'll always be up and down until the aerodrome is closed, because it's a constant job to, keep the airfield secure and safe. Darren Hobson, which aircraft would you like to fly in, past or present? Oh wow, cool. That's a good question. I'll take a B-17, why not? Of course I'd like to be in a Typhoon, no doubt, but I'll take a B-17. Frank Washinsky, how you doing? Really, really bitter cold fog. If you could design a Halloween themed paint job for a fighter jet, what would it look like? Oh, he'll have a witch on there and a broomstick. Wee Stevie boy, is there a specific aircraft that gives you goosebumps or makes your eyes swell? I think BBMF aircraft and a B-17, that does it for me. Andrew Hanslow, no, I haven't read that one. Eric, take care, man. Happy Halloween, mate. Happy Halloween to all our viewers. Stephen Parkin, Nikos, what's been your most embarrassing moment when you have been live streaming? Probably whacking myself in the eye with a cup or falling over. That was quite funny. Oh, I know the one. I think the most embarrassing was when I did the backwards man and twisted my neck live. I think that's worse. Katie Webber, which closed UK base would you like to film on if you could turn back time? Coltishall. Or the spider screen. Yeah, there was that. I mean, when these things happen, live is live, right? There's nothing you can do. You're on air, you just gotta, if you get... I know there's many of you that don't like spiders, but imagine that, and you're dealing with a live broadcast. What you're supposed to do, you just naturally react to it. Craig Davis, how you doing? Hope you're good. David Harrison, Nikos Bradley, my grandson says, oi oi, oi oi to your grandson. Bradley, oi oi.
I was actually thinking.
Darren Pierce, thanks for the info on Green and Common.
Logging in the 10-minute scrum. I sent a mail to the scrum.
Oh, look at it. It's ghastly, isn't it? Yeah, can't see any flying today, unfortunately. What we're going to do? Right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a quick cup of tea and I'll be back. 1 second. Just to keep warm, just keep myself moving a little bit.
Doing this is fun because
Bitterly cold, very bitter. It's that time of year though, isn't it? really ghastly looking, ghostly, googly looking airfield, isn't it? Not a lot going on. I don't think it was supposed to be this bad, which is why I swapped it for Lakenheath. And if I'd known it was going to be like this, I would have probably stuck to my original plan, because I feel bad, because I was meant to be at Coningsby, but never mind. Never mind, it happens. And Lakenheath is closed tomorrow, so if you're making your journey tomorrow to Lakenheath, please don't come tomorrow, because it's going to be closed. You've got options, you know. You can do I don't know about Coningsby, but Marham's open. Mildenhall is certainly lately it's been the place to be. It's been phenomenal there. It's been really good. Been really ace there. Really top stuff at Mildenhall. It's been really good. You could, I think Coningsby's okay for tomorrow. Oh dear, what's happened to my Wellington bomber? It's missing an engine. Oh dear. Poor Wellington bomber. Yeah, I still need to glue that on. See if I can pop that on there again. There you go. He's alright now. Oh dear. There you go. I was going to show you the first aircraft to actually operate out of RAF Lakenheath. Look at that, the Wellington bomber. A geodetic frame, which is like a spiral mesh all around it. I think there's a little example that you can see here, and it's a fantastic geodetic frame, it's called, designed by Barnes Wallis. Fantastic, really good, really amazing design. And of course Barnes Wallis designing the bouncing bomb, the bouncing barrels that went on to be used for the dam buster raids. Absolutely amazing. There we go, really good. And served here as well. First unit to actually come here. I mean, we could talk about the history if you want. I know you've heard it all before, but there are others that haven't heard the history at all. Let me just sort this bit out here now, in case we get a bit of sudden gust of wind there now. But yeah, I mean, you know, we can talk about the history if you like. There's quite a lot of it here, and is that a new one now? I don't know what that is, but there we go. But it's got a lot of, you know, dating back to 5th to 6th centuries. I know many of you have heard it. This was my slightly different variation. I mean, while we're waiting, I might as well, isn't it? Yeah, could do. But it is interesting. It really is. And I'll tell you what, it's quite scary. What about? I was thinking the other day. What about the ghosts of the Lakenheath Warrior? Does the Lakenheath Warrior come about at night with the horse? For those that don't know what I'm talking about, 1600 years ago, this was thriving as an Anglo-Saxon village or area, at least certainly with burials. But I'm also thinking it had a connection with military as well, because of what they found in 1959 and excavations 40 years later in late 90s, 1997 and onwards. First excavations were actually carried out by a lady named Lady Briscoe, and with the help with the Suffolk County Council Archaeological Unit, they did a couple of digs, because they believed that there was, because there are Anglo-Saxon villages around here, and their finds were fruitful. They actually found human remains, they found skeletons, but it wasn't until 40 years later when the opportunity arose. You see, it is an active base. You can't just start digging around and getting, you know, doing excavations. But the point is, Lakenheath were fortunately enough at the time for excavations. They were going to build new dormitories. All right, so this means a lot of groundworks put in place. But when you're doing a lot of the groundworks, you might as well excavate, you know, if it's going to be on the ground. So they got the all clear. And by the way, Lady Briscoe, she was the founder of Mildenhall Museum. and they decided to carry out more excavations in the late 90s, and also in the baseball stadium that was near the new dormitories. The new dormitories, you see them when you just before on the, I think it's at the A1065, just before the main gate. You can see newish buildings. They're not new now. They're like late 90s style and early 2000s. That was the new dormitories. And they found, right, listen to this, a total of 427 graves. They found in those graves there were 6 men with swords, 2 with horses, 3 minstrels, men buried with lyres, 1 man buried with a quiver of arrows, 96 females in total, and there was arrowheads, spearheads, loads of weapons, jewellery, glass beads, the lot. Now, the burials that you probably wondering, when you come to the car park, it does say that this car park's built on medieval earthwork, so I looked into that, and with the trained eye you can actually see remains of what was left bell barrows. I can see one there. There's disc barrows, pond barrows. If you do a little research online and do a little search on the search engines, you might be able to see what we're talking about. But how cool is that? But one of the finds, they've named him the Lakenheath Warrior, a man that was 5'10", buried with his sword, jewellery, rings, his shield, what's left of the shield, because it was wooden predominantly, but it had the boss, which was made out of, I can't remember the material, what it was made out of actually. I can't remember the metal. I'll have to have a look at that. I can't comment on which metal it was. Maybe let's have a look. 16 iron, perhaps, maybe, or tin. I'm not really sure what metal that was on there. I'll need to have a look at that. It's a good question. But he was buried with his horse, and there was a goat, I think, or a sheep. So it was like food for the afterlife. And that's not your normal burial. Many didn't get that unless you were some sort of like general in the military of that time period. The vicinity that we're looking at, you'll notice a lot of forests everywhere. Hiya! You notice it's a lot of forests, of Thetford Forest, and the whole area, there was a couple of lodges. There was Eriswell Lodge and Lakenheath Lodge, which is now where the church is. This area in the 18th century was used for gamekeeping. There was a lot of rabbits. They had rabbit warrens. And this region was actually called Lakenheath Warren. During World War I, the area was turned into a bombing range using biplanes by the Royal Flying Corps. And in 1918, the Royal Air Force became independent from the Royal Flying Corps, and that was on the 1st of April 1918, per ardua ad astra. Now, several years later, in 1934, about 5.5 miles away, the backwards crow flies, although you'll be struggling to see it, is RAF Mildenhall. And that opened on the 16th of October with the Handley Page Hayfords. They were flying with 149 and 99 Squadron as well. Oh yeah, who now at RAF Bryce Norton flying these C-17s. 2 years later, between 1936 and of course rolling on to 1937, 5.5 miles that way, RAF Feltwell opened with the Handley Page Harrow bomber. And in 1937, at RAF Mildenhall, number 5 Group Bomber Command were formed at Mildenhall, but then they moved a month later in October to Lincolnshire at St Vincent's Hall. Thought I could hear of Wellington then. 2 years later, in 1939, the actual village of Lakenheath raised nearly £9,000 for a Spitfire. It was a fundraising event, and that began just before the war, and of course the war started in 1939 in September. Now, we haven't mentioned RAF Lakenheath yet because that wasn't built, and as we mentioned earlier in the stream, in as being Lakenheath being chosen to be a decoy airfield, and that was in 1940. So the base was actually, before it actually run and operated as a base, it was actually a decoy airfield. Like we mentioned, it was a fake airfield. It was to pretend, it was a deception. It's one method of defence. You've got Feltwell, you've got Mildenhall. Now, they could be attacked. Okay, you've got anti-aircraft cannon fire, but there's only going to take one hit on your runway to deactivate you. So they decided to come up with a cunning plan called a decoy airfield. So like I said earlier in the stream, there were 2 types. There was a K site and a Q site. So K site for daytime, so you've got it runs differently if you're a K site, and then Q site nighttime operations. Wood was supplied from Eriswell hamlet or village just down the road. I think it's did you class that as a village? I'm not sure, but the village of Eriswell. They supplied from the wood for the plywood for the fake Wellington bombers. And in a year later, it was finally to have the first aircraft here arrive. They were going to actually make it into an airfield eventually and operate it as Lakenheath. So they decided to build the actual runway and build the actual base. And in 1941, RAF Lakenheath was finally opened. But it was a training base. They used number 20 operational training unit that came about 500 miles away from RAF Lossiemouth. Reasons for them being here was really to the fact that RAF Lossiemouth was initially a training base at first, but because of its location, they actually made a lot of, even Wing Commander Guy Gibson, I believe, with Lancasters actually carried out operations from there. And because there were so many actual operations that were going on, the training units couldn't really get their training, so they moved them far away as possible. They moved them here to RAF Lakenheath, and hence the name Royal Air Force, because it operated first as a Royal Air Force, and we'll talk to you about that later on as well. So number 20 operational training unit arrived here with the Wellington bomber, as we just seen. So this was the very first. Imagine that on those runways. How cool is that? In the fog. Imagine that, eh? Beautiful. That's my impression of it taking off there now. Wellington bomber, last of the few twin engine bombers before they started to upgrade them. I have actually got a Sterling bomber model sent kindly by one of our fans. I think it's AGA or ASA model. Sorry if I got that wrong, it was just off the top of my head. Thanks, man, you know who you are. Thank you. I'll get you the Sterling, because that came as well. So number 20 operational training unit came here. So before you get your bomber wings, you have to fly with the operational training unit. A bit like today, we have operational conversion units. There were other training units such as heavy glider conversion units, and also heavy conversion units as well. So in a year later, the surrounding villages found themselves, and the rest of Britain found themselves with a bit of a problem. There was actually furniture rationing, and I mentioned furniture because there was a furniture store nearby in the village, and that affected the residents of buying furniture, because the Air Ministry wanted all the wood and those were skilled enough to build furniture for the Mosquito aircraft, the de Havilland Mosquito fighter bomber. By then, Lakenheath was a satellite station, so it started to operate a little bit more, and it was under the control of RAF Mildenhall. 149 Squadron were operating again with the Wellington bomber, and eventually 199 Squadron were flying here. And there were other squadrons as well through the time, especially Royal Canadian Air Force flying Wellington bombers here. 419 Squadron Royal Canadian Air Force. Julian, how you doing? Respect to your father for flying in the Wellington bomber. One of our fans, their father was actually based here at Mildenhall, flying the Wellington bombers as well. He may have flown from here as well, actually. I don't know if he did, but there we go. And it was operating as a satellite station as well. Now, Lakenheath became independent finally with its Wellington bombers, and then upgraded to the short Sterling bomber. You see, the aircraft like the Avro Manchester and the Hampden and the Wellington, they had a bit of a bad reputation due to the fact that they only had 2 engines. And that's why a lot of the bombers later eventually had 4, because they found them a little bit underpowered. And obviously, you can still fly an aircraft with 1 engine, but if you lost lost 2, you're in trouble. Having 4 engines gave you more power and a bit more lastability. So they carried out raids from Lakenheath here, including weapons plants, raids over Cologne and other cities as well. And in 1944, RAF Lakenheath was involved in a supply drop to resistance by 149 Squadron. A year later, in 1945, Bomber Command Signal School were here, until finally it was decided to upgrade Lakenheath by closing it for 2 years so that it could make way for the B-29 bombers. Oh yeah. That's good. That's a very, very heavy aircraft. Now, an aircraft like that, you're going to need your runways extended, and they did so. So it was closed for 2 years until 1948. The United States Air Forces arrived here with the B-29s. From the 2nd Bombardment Group, the 307 Bombardment Group as well, with other rotational deployments from other various squadrons. So it just goes to show, you know, how time moves on. So from 1948, the Royal Air Force, stopped operating here, and the new hosts were the United States Air Force. So it's been a US Air Force base since 1948. So that's quite a long time. That's a good legacy to have. What's that, 76 years? Have I got my maths correct? I think that's 76 years. Yeah, 76 years. I'll go with that. I'm going to trust my maths on that. So there we go. And let's have a look. Oh, yeah, okay. And there was also support to ground troops as well, by the way. Sorry, I got that a bit wrong. So yeah, there we go. So I was going to say, so that kind of leaves us on to the next stage. Okay, so we've left the Royal Air Force now. We've gone to the United States Air Force now from 1948. So the next bit I need to talk about is really where are the 48 Fighter Wing? Well, you have to go back to the 15th of January 1941. Now, in 1941, the United States Army Air Corps activated the 48th Bombardment Group Light. Sometimes you'll see a letter in brackets. So if you look at the 100th Bomb Group, you'll see H in brackets. That stands for heavy. The 48th Bombardment Group had an L for light. There was also a D for dive. There was also dive bombing groups as well. But 48th was a light bombardment group, and that was at Hunter Field in Savannah in Georgia. You may not be familiar with the names at the moment. 55th, 56th and 57th Bombardment Squadrons Light, along with the 9th Reconnaissance Squadron. They don't sound familiar, do they? Don't sound like the 492nd, do they? Not yet. But these 54 activations, they were known as the first aviation objective in preparation for World War II. The 48th were a training unit. They were flying aircraft like the A-20, the A-18. That was a light twin-engine attack light bomber. On the same year, just before the end, on the 7th of December 1941, this was the turning point. While things were looking bleak in Europe, with countries slowly getting, well, actually it was quite quick, wasn't it, really? The tides were about to change, because while Britain was next, really, we've been taken, the turning point happened. The attacks on Pearl Harbor began, and this left a turning point with the involvement of America actually now thinking to send their men and women to England. Although I did mention that there were choices, not by choice, shall I say. There were options, probably the right word, to either come to England, Mediterranean, Africa. I don't think many wanted to come to England due to the weather. It was very cold, very damp. But for many, such as the 48th, it was RAF Ibsley. It was only 3 months later, so February 1942, after the attacks of Pearl Harbor, that the mighty 8th arrived in England. And on the 15th of August 1943, the 48th moved to Key Field, and they were redesignated as the numbers we know today as the 492nd. Don't know what that is. 493rd, 494th and 495th Fighter Bomb Squadrons. The 48th became a fighter bomb group then, and they were flying aircraft such as the A-24, A-31, A-35 and A-36 training aircraft. On the 20th of August of that year, they moved to William Northern Field in Tennessee. They became operational, flying the P-39 Aero Cobra and the P-40 Warhawk. In 1944, they changed to the P-47, the the Jug, and they carried out coastal patrol missions, and eventually they became a proper operational unit. 21st of March 1944, 3 of the squadrons set sail to RAF Ibsley on the Queen Mary. The squadrons were the 492nd, 493rd and 494th. The 495th became part of the 407th Fighter Bomb Group in Texas, and the 407th Fighter Bomb Group, sadly, they deactivated a month later, and that was the end, for now, of the 495th. The 495th inactivated for 33 years. When the 48 finally arrived in England, they were part of the 9th Air Force at RAF Ibsley. On the 20th of April 1944, the first combat sweep was to commence for the 48th. A month later, in May, they retitled and became the 48th Fighter Group. The bomber title was dropped, and the squadrons were now Fighter Squadrons. It was D-Day, ladies, gents, teddy bears, 6th of the 6th, 1944, the D-Day operations. Now, with the 14,000 sorties that were carried out throughout the Normandy campaign, 2,000 of those sorties were by the 48th. The P-47s supported the troops on the ground. They bombed bridges, railway lines, gun positions. They provided reconnaissance, similar to the Hawker Typhoon. It's air power, ladies, gents, teddy bears, air power and close air support. Those were the key things that really changed. And the manoeuvres such as the split S and close air support was actually innovated by those P-47s, not just with the 48th, but that 48th and that air power with the other fighter groups that were taking part with their P-47s really homed in and developed close air support. So I'll explain. So while D-Day, the Normandy campaign, was most successful, as you're advancing your army and your allied troops on the ground, air power and communications, there was a lot of fighter groups that would actually support ground. So one of the things that the Hawker Typhoon and the P-47 Thunderbolt would do would be to wipe out any vehicles and railways and railway lines and trains on the ground by doing a maneuver called a split S. They'll basically move away from the target, come down, and it's called a split S, where they turn on a dive like that and then strafe, bomb, just let it all go. That was a maneuver that was used a lot by the P-47s and the Hawker Typhoon. They played a very similar role, those two aircraft, actually. So moving on to close air support, one of the things that the P-47 did was to help and give close air support. And do you know what? That's what the A-10 does today, all to those skills and tactics that the P-47 was able to do. Your troops are on the ground. They're going to run into ambush combat. The more they gained back of France, the more they were going to come into more enemy attacks. There's tanks, there's infantry, there's all sorts on the ground ready for attacks. When needed, those P-47s would be given the coordinates just like they do with the A-10. This is called CAS. This is called close air support. And this developed into what the A-10 does today. It's very amazing to think where that lived up today. I could safely say, without sounding inaccurate, I could quite happily say, and I think it's true and a fair judgment to say that the P-47 was probably with the Hawker Typhoon, I'd say that was the A-10 of the day. They supported those troops, especially St. Lo, and then they started Laon, and they started to gain back a lot of France. Oh, cool. Let's wait for this. And the 48 spent a lot of time in France. In 1945, they moved to Laon in France, and they finally moved back to the US. And there is an example of the P-47 Thunderbolt at Duxford of markings F4, and it's called Nelly, and there's an example of the 492nd P-47 Thunderbolt at Duxford, which you can have a look at. Now, 10th of July 1952, the 48 finally reactivated at Chaumont in France. The 48 spent quite a bit of time in France. Although they went back to the US, they did come back, and the 48th actually had the F-84Gs, the Thunderjets, as the 48th, and they became the 48th Fighter Bomb Wing. So the squadron, there were only 3 again because the 495th were deactivated. The 3 squadrons became the fighter bomb squadrons. And October 1953, just like the 29 Squadron, this fog is getting worse. Just like 29 Squadron is part of the makes up the Typhoon display team. In October 1953, the 492nd actually were part of the Sky Blazer aerobatics team, and that was until 1956. And in 1954, the Sky Blazers were flying the F-86, and the wing also were flying the F-86s. Now the Sky Blazers with the 36 fighter wing, they took over that. Now I'll give you a little bit of detail about the Sky Blazers. The fate was really sealed off because of the Thunderbirds, because the Thunderbirds had aircraft that you could refuel air to air. So it kind of gave them the advantage, the Thunderjets, because they were able to air-to-air refuel and also carry out displays in Europe. So that gave them a bit more exposure. So that kind of saw the end of the Sky Blazers, unfortunately. So in 1954, the mayor of Chaumont carried out a ceremony. Now this ceremony is where Lakenheath gets its name from. Now near Paris, so it's not too far from Chaumont. It's the Chaumont-Samoutier region. The 48th were actually close to the workshop of Bartholdi, who built designed and built the Statue of Liberty. So the Statue of Liberty was made in France, and it was made by Bartholdi. And the mayor of Chaumont, they actually did a ceremony and gave him the name Statue de la Liberté, which means Statue of Liberty, and that made Lakenheath. That made the 48th the only wing with a name. That's right, all the other wings have a number, of course, but they don't have a name. Lakenheath does, or the 48th does. It's called the Statue of Liberty wing. That's the 48th fighter wing. So that's pretty cool. So that's where it's got the name from. Okay, so there we go. And in 1956, they started to operate the F-100D Super Sabres. And 2 years later, they became a different wing. They changed name. They became the 48th Tactical Fighter Wing, and that meant that the other squadrons, the squadrons had that title as well. The bomber dropped, and they became a Tactical Fighter Squadron, each and every one of them. So, on the same year as the Beatles were formed, on the 15th of January 1960, the 48th moved to RAF Lakenheath, ladies, gents and teddy bears, with their F-100s with tail codes LR, LS and LT. R for the 492nd, S for the 493rd, and T for the 494th. The colour codes changed to what we know today. They had different ones in World War II as well. So you got blue for the Bowlers, red for the Panthers, and yellow for the Reapers, the Grim Reapers. In 1972, then, on the year that Derby County won the First Division Football League, the very first F-15A Eagle takes to the skies on its first ever flight, along with the very first Godfather movie that appeared. The F-100s on that same year were replaced with Phantoms in 1972, and also a tail code was changed from LK. Now, they changed that 2-digit tail system. They used LK, but only for a few months. About 6-7 months, the tail code changed in 1973 to the code we know today as LN. In 1977, this was the year that Star Wars made its first appearance and was aired for the first time in cinemas. RAF Lakenheath, on the same year as Star Wars airing at the cinemas, the F-111 Aardvark was there to be switched from the Phantoms. So the Phantoms were only there for a short period, really, 1972 to 1977, but they switched to the F-111 Aardvarks. Welcoming back after 33 years were the 495th. Now, they were all tactical fighter squadrons, so the 495th became the 495th Tactical Fighter Squadron. They were not called the Valkyries, they were called the Thundervarks, ladies, gents and teddy bears. April the 14th in 1986, Lakenheath was involved with a couple of their squadrons in the El Dorado Canyon mission. Now, this mission was the longest combat long-range strike attack mission in history. It's the longest combat fighter mission. 13.5 hours. With about 3,500 miles flight, and that was all due to the flight restrictions. They weren't alone. The US Navy and the United States Air Force were together in that. There was aircraft from Hayford with the EB F-111s, is that right? The Spark Vark, if I remember that correctly. But yeah, the US Air Force took part in that with their F-111s. There was 24 F-111s that took off from Lakenheath. In 1990 to 91, there was Gulf War deployments as well, and there was a restructure as well. On the October the 1st, 1991, the name changed from Fighter Wing to Fighter Squadrons as well. Now 1991 saw a bit more change, and it was the last of the F-111s. They departed in 92 in December, and the 495th deactivated as well, sadly, but we saw them again, don't you worry about that. They came back 30 years later. The Strike Eagles arrived in 1992, followed by the F-15 C and D models for the Grim Reapers. They inactivated but reactivated, so a lot of changes. It started to say goodbye to the F-111s, and then it became an Eagle wing in the end. And in 2006 we could also see helicopter squadrons here. There was 56 Rescue Squadron flying the HH-60, which is the Hawk, the Pave Hawk. Also in 2015, I think the 57th Rescue Squadron was here as well. No, now it wasn't until 2021 that the 495th reactivated again. They activated with the F-35A. Lakenheath finally became a F-35A wing, and welcoming back the 495th, who were then renamed to the Valkyries. And a year later, the 493rd, the Grim Reaper Squadron, they said goodbye to their F-15 C and Ds that retired, and they inactivated just for I don't even think they actually classed them as being inactive, but they reactivated with F-35As as well. So that left 4 squadrons, 2 different aircraft, and here we are today. And I think in 2000, and I think it was 2000 and I'm just trying to think when it was, the 2 helicopter squadrons, they moved to Aviano. I think it might have been 2014, I think, but I need to just double check that, or 2016, sorry, beg your pardon, 2016. They moved to Aviano in the end as well. So there we go. Sadly, I don't think we're going to get much today. Look at the state of this. It's just coming up to 10 o'clock. I might even go and treat myself to a burger. I don't think I'm going to... That's just not good. Don't think so. Not in this. Until that lift's not going to go out. Hi.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
So we watched all your videos and everything. When you parked when you were at the Mildenhall the other day, so you were like looking over
It's at the campsite.
at the campsite. Ah.
Yes.
And is it the nude one?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
We
it's
didn't know.
£2 a person.
Okay. It's a good view.
Yes. Well, don't forget I'm on a van.
Yeah.
On top, but it's like this. You can see.
Right. Okay.
All right.
Yes. Thank
No
you.
problem at all.
Without the fog.
Yeah, without the fog, it's probably better over there, I think.
No, we've just been up there. It's really much worse than here.
Oh, it's worse.
Yeah, we just went up and had a look round.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah. Thank you.
No worries.
cheers. No, I'm fine. Good.
Oh, all right. See.
Oh, you're coming back?
Yeah, I'm coming back. Yeah.
All right.
Are you leaving soon?
No.
Oh, okay. I'll be back soon.
come all the way from Lancaster to see you. There's nothing happening.
I know.
Wow. How you doing, mate? You alright?
Very good, thank you. Very good.
Good, mate. You're put on a good show. I've only just started following you because I'm new to all this. Really.
Oh, thank you.
Full-time job then? Is it? Just on your own?
Yeah, me and the bears.
You've got some knowledge.
I'll try. Yeah, no, I can't see anything advertising with that.
Nothing at all?
Not with that.
No, no. But why though? Why?
Because you put in a pilot flight operation, the bits didn't so cool.
No, if it was a poor
But there you go. But you see, you just said it. We're not at war, so this is training.
Yeah.
So that's the point. Is why put men and women's lives at risk? And not only that, not only them, they needed to reject. Where's that plane going? It's probably going to hit a house, hit some people. You know, it's a lot of responsibility. So yeah, so that's why I know. If they needed to, they could. If they analog, yeah, that's right. But if they had to, they would. They would easily. This is all training. Do you know what I mean? I'll be honest with you. I reckon if this was a few decades ago, they would have gone.
Yeah.
But I think these days I really have to be a bit mindful because people like to call people I think. And anyway, at the end of the day, we don't want to.
No, do we have that?
But the thing is, I mean, this wind, the wind is the blow that's so bad, you know what I mean?
It's way by a range down there.
Yeah, that is the big place. Because it's training. They can do it, like you said, they can do it. And the thing is, you're so close to Mildenhall as well. Yeah. Look, you know, the bases are so close. I mean, 5.5 miles for a fighter.
No, I know it's not.
There was a couple of Fridays ago where it was like this, worse. But it was a layer of fog. They went through that. It was really nice because you could see them just pop out.
Yeah.
And I was so surprised that they said clear for takeoff. I'm like, and it was worse. It was worse than this. And I was like, are you okay? Because but the thing is, it was amazing. It was sunny and it was. I just used it.
You got Marham tomorrow. Is that worth a trip up for me?
It's going to be like this tomorrow.
Is it?
I looked at the weather. I'm like, it's the same. So it's good. Really good. The thing is, if the pilots have missed their slots, and they cancelled, they might be able to get that clearance. And that's why sometimes you come, it's like this, an hour later it's nice and clear and they don't fly, so probably because they've cancelled the flights. It's such a shame, it's so frustrating. As a plane spy, I know, people come from far away and it's like, oh my goodness me, but that's why I've always said it on the street, you're going to get a day, nothing happens today, so looking at a day and they are stealth after all.
Yeah, that's true.
And you can't see the control tower, that's bad.
Where's that at? Where is that?
It's, okay, so it'll be, yeah, it's, you see these 4 red lights, they look orange from here, but see those 4, it's in between the last one and that aerial.
Yeah,
So it's sort of in that direction. Should be, it is there, but it's not. Disappeared. The Phantom Control Tower. Right.
Even back
Nice cup of tea. Where have you come from? Lancaster?
Lancaster, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
everything that you want. How many hours is that?
5.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, I came up last night and just stopped over just looking in the lane.
How you doing, mate? Alright. I know it's one of the worst times. Me and my partner, we done that. We drove 4 hours to the Lake District.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it was like this.
Yeah.
It's like you know the answer.
Yeah.
You know the answer, and it's like, oh dear. They ain't going through that.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
So I see the go home tonight or hang about, go to another air base tomorrow.
Yeah. So I had a look at Mara, but the thing is, it could change. It's unpredictable,
Yeah.
really. You can't really predict when it's going to shift. You could, I mean, you're in the area. I'm wondering if you could try Mildenhall.
You know, gamble on, so
That's
that,
alright.
you know,
Try Mildenhall or Marham. Those, if you're in this area, that's the only thing I could suggest. That's the only problem.
I went to Coningsby a few weeks ago. That's the first time I've been to an air base. You went to another then? No.
I just love aviation. Just I bet you nothing about it. Just learn it bit by bit, yeah. Apparently it's worse at Mildenhall. Someone's just come from
Okay. Oh dear. Can't believe how busy it is. Busy
I
as it is as
know.
well. Is it always this busy?
Sometimes it can, yeah, yes, it can be. I don't think it was supposed to do this one yesterday. I really don't. No one's flying this side of the country. You can see that. I mean, there's been things all over the other side.
Oh dear. At least it's not raining.
Exactly.
Thanks for the topic.
That's alright, mate. Yeah, no problem at all. Yeah. There is a control tower somewhere. It's not. Oh dear. How we doing, ladies, sheds and teddy bears? Unfortunately, look at the state of this. This is awful. And as you heard, you know, many people do come far away, and sadly, this can happen. This is the nature of plane spotting. But not only that, when you mix that with, when you set the genre to military, it's already a you know, potluck in its own right, and then you've got the weather on the disadvantage side of things. Then you're going to get days like this, sadly, and this doesn't look good for tomorrow either. It looks about the same fate for tomorrow, but I'll still turn up, see what happens. You never know. Oh dear.
Okay.
Yeah, you do need FIDO. So yeah, the thing is, it's always blue sky up there. Well, thanks all of you who have stuck it out with us and waited. It's actually just got worse. Look at this, even worse. This is not looking good. Bex, no worries, thank you. Yeah, it's horrible. Tim, how you doing? Hope you're good. Many of you mentioning FIDO, and if you've ever been to RAF Mildenhall, then you may be a little bit clued up on FIDO. What is FIDO? Tell you what, it may sound crazy, but it's an absolute, it worked. And how you doing, ladies, gents and teddy bears? FIDO is the fog in dispersal operation, so fog investigation dispersal operation, and there was about 20, I think 20 RAF stations were chosen, such as RAF Gravely and RAF Mildenhall, who were chosen to have FIDO, and it's sometimes referred to as fog intense dispersal operation, and it was a method of actually having fire and burning fuel to burn off the fog, and it actually worked. And it was a system for when you've got like conditions like pea soup, basically Mordor like the conditions. The device developed by Arthur Hartley for the British RAF bomber stations, and it allowed the landing of aircraft returning from raids or taking off in poor visibility. Now you can actually see examples of FIDO at RAF Mildenhall at the airfield, and they look like, it looks like tram lines. And what it was around the airfield, and it was basically with that tram line, it was filled with fuel, a type of petroleum, a type of oil, I guess, and they would set it alight. So you'd have flames around the runway, and it would actually disperse and destroy and burn off the fog. It's and I've seen. Honestly, you've got to just type in FIDO and then put in fog in a search engine, and have a look at the photo of this Lancaster. I think it's a Lancaster, or is it? No, it looks. I think I don't know. It could be a Wellington, actually. No, it's a Lancaster. Sorry, it's a Lancaster. Yeah, May 1945. That'll be a Lancaster. RAF Gravely. It's amazing. Got fog around, and it would burn off the fog. Absolutely amazing. I believe it was 20 stations that were chosen to trial this out, and I don't know. I haven't read too much on the fate of it, but the system was pretty effective as far as I've read. But it was usually petrol, and it was pumped down these sort of like tram line looking things. And if you go to, if you are heading for RAF Mildenhall, and ask the volunteers there, they'll give you a map, and you can actually drive around the most of parts of the old airfield, and you can, with the trained eye, get your eagle eyes out, and you can see it. We've got a you'll be able to see the FIDO tram lines. It's amazing. It really is. You wouldn't think of it, but it looks spectacular. For those that know, it's called FIDO. Yeah, if you look at the photos, it's pretty amazing. Jan Clark, thank you very much for the super. For a nice cup of hot tea. Thanks for your efforts, Nikos. Not easy, but we all love you and the channel and having fun on the chat. No, enjoy. Thank you. But LJ Approach, Gucci Man, how you doing? Wigglesway, Rebecca Drayton. I think we had Struer and family. How you doing in the camper van over there? Airborne Womble, White Wizard, Stephen Norris, Matthew Cable. How you doing? Katie Webber, Alan Burnham, of course, Bloxham. Chris White, maybe time to go for a burger. I had it, thank you, it was amazing. Does he stock salmon also? Might have to might have to put that on the menu. Salmon burgers. That sounds pretty good.
Tier 10, viewpoint 09er. Altimeter 3034. Pressure alpha.
Moving a little bit. It's harder when there's nothing going on.
Oh no.
Not looking good, sadly.
It's supposed to burn off later.
Yeah, the only problem is if they cancelled their flights.
Yes.
That would, yeah.
climb entry 7 and not go to the coast.
I mean, there's Mildenhall if it burns up later.
Yeah.
As an option. So that'll.
You missed the C-17 coming in, didn't you?
Did I?
On Tuesday, C-17 came in and landed here.
Oh right.
F-16 did 2 flybys.
I was at Mildenhall.
Yeah.
No, that Mildenhall was great though.
Yeah.
Mildenhall was really good.
Yeah. Well, they've got the A400s, haven't they?
Yeah, it did a tactical departure. That was really good. I really enjoyed that.
They're supposed to be doing a parachute drop today, aren't they, at Skullthorpe? But, supposedly, but that's not happening.
And if it did, I don't think you could see it.
No.
Oh dear. Oh well.
Let's hope we do get some.
Yeah.
What up? How we doing, y'all? My name's Casey. Sir, how you doing? I'm from West Coast. What in Salmon is going on here? That ain't no Caribbean weather. That ain't no California weather either. This is no good. Looks like fog from Dartmoor Bog. It's in motion. I'll get that for you, sir. 1 second.
Oh dear. The only thing flying at the moment is Ted's witch's hat.
Yeah, I got it for you there, sir. No problem at all. I'm from Quality Assurance, RAF Mildenhall. Well, it ain't no good over there either. In fact, it's what you call emotional. Not good. Anyway, what up?
Oh yeah, ladies, sheds and teddy bears, welcome to the Ted Coningsby channel membership. I'm Nikos, I'm your cameraman and commentator. This is our squadron leader, Ted Coningsby. Just want to say a massive thank you to all our members. Guns up and oh yeah. Take it away, Ted. Ladies, sheds and teddy bears, we want to say a massive thank you to all of our subscribers for getting us to where we are today. We have gone all over the country, from as far as Lossiemouth to Bryce Norton, and military areas such as air weapons ranges, low flying areas, heritage centres and special flights for TED 2. We cannot do this without your support, and your support will be rewarded. You can now join the Ted Coningsby Squadron and help fund the channel to get us around the country and provide us with the funds for equipment to bring you better content too. We have 3 exciting membership levels with awesome YouTube perks to reward you back for your support. Our first level of membership is the Ted Coningsby Squadron. You'll get a loyalty badge on YouTube, unique TCS emojis that you can use on comments and live streams, members only videos which include behind the scenes, deleted scenes, sneak previews and also music videos that Ted likes to play the electric guitar on. You'll also get access to members only Discord server and discount on all of our Ted Coningsby merchandise. All of this for just $1.99 a month. Oh yeah. Our second level of membership is the Posh Officers Club. This includes all of the squadron perks, private Posh Officers Discord chat room, Posh Officers discounts on all of our Ted Coningsby merchandise, and the poshness of supporting the TCS even more. This is just £4.99 a month. Our third level was inspired by many of our fans who have been supporting the channel massively. So we'd love to reward you back with this, and our third level of membership is the Ted Coningsby Fighter Squadron. This gives you a more personal experience with me and Ted, with exclusive live streams and content. You'll get a free Ted Coningsby Fighter Squadron patch, a private Ted Coningsby Fighter Squadron Discord chat room, a gold colour Discord username, and a higher discount on all of our Ted Coningsby merchandise. All this for just $25.99 a month. Ladies, gents and teddy bears, the Ted Coningsby channel cannot thank you enough for all your support, and it's this support that keeps the dream, keeps the stream. Thank you so much. Oh yeah.
Best I can do. It's better than coming here tomorrow because it's closed.
Oh dear.
It lifted a minute ago, didn't it?
It did a little bit.
Yeah. Then it came down again.
Yeah. Brent Mosley, how you doing? Happy Halloween, everyone. Alan Gates, Chris Bloxham, Ellie J Approach. How you doing? Alex Placat, Simon Wattrell, and Eric, Edward Coates, Paul Weaver, how you doing? Oh, Paul Weaver, take care, man. Jenny B, EP65, Simon Wattrell. Hope we're all good.
Too much today.
they know better than you.
Yes. How you doing, Grand Crew? Drew here. How you doing? Hope you're all good. Ladies, gents, teddy bears. For a spotter, it must be very frustrating. I know loads of you have come far away. A lot of you tuned in, expecting to see some lovely, lovely F-15s and F-35s, but unfortunately, this becomes a bit of a hazard for us. That's right, when we're working in these conditions, you got to remember, although aircraft and the pilots are highly skilled in that, it's not really worth having a moment into this fog. It's not really worth putting the pilot's life and crew's life at risk. It is abysmal, and it is training after all. Unbelievable. No current bun. Absolutely shy, like your first time on blind date. Unbelievable. What we're going to do, eh? Never mind. Never mind. Reminds me of my favourite song, really. Or one of my favourite songs. Bogging a tie, no mine, no mine. Bogging a tie, no mine. Love that guy. He's alright. And him and Jimmy Nail. I love those two. But yeah, my name's Grand Crew Drew. Nice to meet you. Not a lot of people know about us. Been working with the 48th Maintenance Squadrons. They're called Fighter Generation Squadrons. They're all split up into separate squadrons of Fighter Generation Squadrons, and it'll be abbreviated as FGS, Fighter Generation Squadrons. You see, that all changed when the F-35s came, because it was a totally different aircraft. And then, of course, when they came along, they had to split them up and have a little think about it, because all we had here before was Eagles. That's right, Strike Eagles and F-15C and D models. It was a lot easier to manage that. We had like pretty much one maintenance squadron. But then when the F-35s come into it, we had to change a few things around here. So I thought I'd give them a hand, roll up my sleeves, get the old jazz bands ready to go. And now we just in and out of Fighter Generation Squadron. So there'll be a Fighter Generation Squadron for each squadron, basically. So you've got the 492nd, 493rd, 494th, 495th FGS. And they manage their own aircraft. It's a nice way of doing it, really. What's mine is mine, what's yours is yours. You take care of that, son, I'll take care of this, there, love. You know, that kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Right. I'm going to go and cycle into town and go and get me favourite UFOs. That's right, love my flying saucers. Love them, love those sweets, they're very tasty. Yeah. Right, you take care. See you soon. What is this? My name is Jens from Germany. What is this? What is this? This is very emotional. It's not good. I've come back from Oktoberfest to this. Looks like a fog fest. Not very good. My name is Jens from Germany. I arrived C-17, and I'm very disappointed with this weather. It's not very good. G'day mate, how you doing? I'm very good. What's your name? My name's Ozzie. Where are you from? I'm from Australia, from Brisbane. Ah, and what did you fly in? I came in a C-17. Ah, the same as me. Did you see Captain Gunther Weber? No, I didn't, sir. No, I was flying with Mick. Ah, Mick, yes. How is he? Yeah, he's alright. And we're just a little bit miffed by this fog. Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. What you need is a good buckfest with curry. Buckfest with curry? That sounds quite nice, actually. Might eat us up. Yes, you eat some of that, just a bit of fog. This is what we do in Germany to get rid of fog. Eat buckfest and curry. Curry sauce is very good. Well, sounds good. Well, we don't really have a lot of fog in Australia, but we do sometimes in the rainy season. Ah, see, it does rain in Australia. But it was always hot. No, you get some places we get a lot of the rainy season. And it's quite nice actually, makes a bit of a change, but it's a bit humid. It's like sweating in the rain, it's a really odd feeling. Ah, that's very interesting. Right, listen, you come with me, we go and eat some special German sausage, and we go and find Captain Gunther Weber. Okay mate, alright, where do we have to go? You follow me. So, we're going to town and go and find Weber. You must find him.
speak with him.
Oh, okay, mate. All right. I'll follow you, mate.
Yes, indeed.
Sounds good though, doesn't it?
No, that's like.
Hey, wait. You're right there now. How we doing around here? My name's Reggie, part of the RAF Regiment. Hey, wait. Goodness me, this fog. I love these conditions. I love the challenge. I love this sort of challenge. It's good. Poorer visibility. That's the key. When you've got poor visibility, you can't be seen. You can use the weather as your own stealth. That's right, that's how I do it. My name's RAF Red Ted. Reggie, my mates call me. That's right. Guys, oh Gary, how you doing? It's Gary here. Gary, you right, mate? He's driving that red van. Dropped me off earlier. Thanks, mate. Cheers, Gary. Gareth, right, mate? There's Gareth over there. Right? Yeah, they're good lads there on there now. Yeah, just been doing me checks and my perimeter checks there now. That's right, got to protect the ground, but not a lot going on for everyone. I haven't seen any pretty little planes. If there were any, you probably couldn't see them in this fog. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Not very good, is it? Not good for plane spotting today. Oh dear. A bit terrible.
Hey there, mate, you alright?
Yeah, I'm alright here now. I'm all good. Oh! There he is. Danny. Alright, mate. Yeah, he's alright and all. Both of them. Yeah, RAF Regiment. Take care of things on the ground there now. So I'll do it around there now. What was that? Thought I saw a red arrow there. Goodness me. Oh look, it's the 18.
That's mad. Oh, thank you.
It's alright for your selfie?
Yeah, man, I'll come down. I'll come down. Give me a sec. I'll just let me just straighten this up. That was quite funny up there. Oi, oi! Oh dear. Oh, you're gonna have fun.
Yeah, you do.
You're gonna have fun no matter what, even if there's nothing going on. I know it's hard, I know it's annoying, but what can you do? How you doing, buddy? You
Yes,
all right?
yes, not too bad.
Let's grab a pic, mate.
No worries.
I'll tell you what.
Oh, there we go.
Let's start putting this beret on. Here we go. So let's grab the pic. Nice. You all right there, mate? How you doing? All right? Yeah, you good?
Sorry. Oh, good.
That's brilliant. Nice one. No worries.
I'll go and grab one.
How you doing, mate? You all right?
Come to Lakenheath and you see Mr. Coningsby.
Well, it's a consolation, isn't it? Hey, I guess. All right, no worries, no worries.
This is set to clear by another half an hour anyway, looking at the
Well, I
weather.
can see the tower now. Where's? You can see the tower now. You can see it. There it is.
It does exist then?
It does. In fact, it's moved. It's to the left of those lights, not to the right. It does move.
Oh, yeah,
It's Halloween after
Yeah, I
all.
was just saying it looks a bit brighter.
Yeah, it's the.
I can see a bit of kind of blue shading through.
There is actually a ghost that haunts Lakenheath Charlie.
Saying that, I might be stopping here tonight.
Sorry?
Don't be saying that, I might be stopping here tonight.
There is actually, it does visit the car park. Hang on, one more. Yeah, no worries. No problem. Oh dear.
somebody's just been talking on Lakenheath approach.
Let's have a look what we got here now. Well, there's the tower. The first time we've seen it today. There it is. That's what an air traffic could... Rapcon, how you doing? Can you see us? Rapcon, that's radar approach control. Lakenheath Tower manage both Mildenhall and Lakenheath. Mildenhall is a 24-hour base, so they're always manning Mildenhall as well as here. Eighth day, how you doing, Ann Cox? How's it going? Runway ops are still open, but that could mean for incoming aircraft as well as outgoing as well. So I'm always vigilant of ADSB just in case there's something coming in.
You were worried about that. I have Okay, I'll bring up the negative.
I did like your QRA footage, by the way.
Oh, thanks, man.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it? It was unexpected. It
Yeah,
was
it was.
so good. I was like, what's going on here?
It's just the second jet, and as soon as he took off, and then he did sort of like these like barrel rolls, didn't he?
Yeah, so he turned sharply,
Yeah.
very, very sharply to follow his the lead-in flight.
Yeah.
And it's usually to bleed off a lot of negative G because there was
That's
a
it.
lot of fuel coming out
Yes,
the back.
that's
There was a
right.
lot of venting.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think that's probably what it was. But
Yeah, it was.
I don't mind. Whatever the reasons, it
Yeah,
was good.
no,
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, it didn't.
Quite the thrill.
I didn't really need. Yeah, I didn't mind the reasons. Just
No,
it just looked
no,
great.
yeah.
I was like, thank you. Yeah, that was good. That.
And you had to do the blue sky as well.
I know. What's that? Must be really frustrating for pilots as well. Don't get their training, their flying hours in as well, and the crew, and it'd be very frustrating for them as well. All operations, but it is clearing up. But what I'm worried about is if they've cancelled their flights for the morning, they may not be flying later. This is the problem we've got. We're in the unknown here, waiting patiently. We'll wait maybe another half an hour and see how this goes. That's brilliant. Someone just put Lakenheath has got the cauldron out, stirring up the Halloween mist. I like that. I think that's it is the Halloween mist, absolutely.
I last fishing.
Sound like engines, didn't it? RAF Lakenheath. It does look a bit spooky with that fog, doesn't it? How are we doing, ladies, gents, teddy bears? My name's Nikos, cameraman and commentator. How are we doing? Got my witch's hat on, ready for the Halloween festives there. Now, I got this from Glastonbury. Yeah. And yeah, it was really cool. I got it a long time ago, and it's quite similar to Ted's actually, so that was quite lucky. So that was pretty cool. And but yeah, hopefully we're all good. Red Ted, how you doing, mate? You good? Yeah, you alright? You having a good time? So you're not flying today, no? Nah, bit too dangerous out there for you, is it? Okay, mate. You take care, man. Good old Red Ted. Red Ted's funny, isn't he? He's a funny character, and his mate as well, the other Red Ted. There's two of them, the Synchro pair and the Synchro Bear. That's what they're called. And yeah, it was sadly this is. I feel so sorry for everyone that's here, and but it's like we're all here together. We're all in it together. We've come from various distances, and it is frustrating. I know. And sadly, this is what happens. This is the nature of it. And you know, I'm so proud to see that chat room absolutely buzzing. It's really, really cool. Thank you. You know, you've really kept it going and kept it flowing. I've probably got time to do another Q&A actually. Let's do a Q&A before we'll finish up. What we'll do, we'll stay till about 11:30 and we'll pack up, all right? If there's no, yeah, because I'm anticipating, let's say midday. It is getting better, but how long? But if you want to do a quick Q&A, we can do that. LEJ Approach, how you doing? Let's have a look. Hope we're all good. Katie Webber, RSVP, Christine Barnes, hope we're all well. Stephen Billings, hope we're all good. If you've got any questions, just whack them in about Ted and I, or about the history of the base perhaps. If you want to know anything about the history, I'll try my best to answer it live on the show. Lakenheath temporarily today. Lakenheath, I like that. Or Hallowheath. What about Lakenheath? RAF Lakenheath, eh? You're all good. EP65, good bump. Simon Watch on is all good as well. Oi oi HD. Yeah, it's slowly lifting, but we'll see. We'll keep knock on wood, keep positive, fingers crossed and that. So hopefully we'll get something. Someone watch on, how you doing? Hope you're good. So yeah, tomorrow we're at Marham, and it's looking about the same visibility for now, unless this shifts, but it's not looking great. Plane spotter, how you doing? Plane spotter Tone, how you doing? My planty place. Tell us about how it feels to have such a successful channel. I remember when you only had a few subscribers and you come such a long way, Hannah. Thanks, Hannah. That's great, and it does feel good. I'm overwhelmed, I'll be honest with you, and for those I may have heard in the background on conversations to people with Claire Bear as well, I remember when I was excited to nearly get 10 subscribers. I was ready for my 10th one, and then got the 100th, and I didn't really expect it to go this successful. I was actually waiting. As a goal for me was to get 10,000 subscribers as my ultimate goal, but completely exceeded that. That's just gone out the window. I really was just, I really thought that would be the limit for the channel, but guess I was wrong on that one. So it does feel good. It does feel overwhelming as well, and like I said, we've got that big thing coming up soon. It was supposed to be next month, but I think it's going to roll on to the early beginning of the year. LEJ approach, that is a good question. 109 or F190? Oh, good question. Tell you what, let me answer that later. I'll answer that later on. It's funny you mentioned those two, because I'm just learning a bit more about them, about the fuel injection that they had, because the Spitfire was carburetor, and I've been learning about the differences, and of course the P47 had the air cooled. I've been learning about liquid cooled and all other things, good, and I'm going into I'm almost going to 190. Is that bad? Is that bad of me to say the F190 at the moment? Is that bad of me? It's got such a good turn rate. It was, I don't know. Good, but how do you feel if I said FW190? Go on. Yeah, there's some great questions. Let's have a look. LEJ, I'm waiting to hear back. He's probably not going to speak to me. I mean, the BF109 is classic, isn't it? It's a classic. I don't know. I think I can't wait to show you the F190 model I've got. They're perfectly okay. I've got myself a model of an F190, right? And I bought it while on holiday, actually. And I just want to. It's like when I chat to you about the Horton and other amazing aircraft during that time. The Horton, and the Comet as well, and the 262. I just want to do a bit more. I've been learning a bit more about different aircraft, and there's so many, isn't there? But I think I'm going to look into more of the F190. I think at the moment. Leave it with me. But let's have a look. Captain A, if Hollywood made a film about the TCS, who would you like to play you? That's a really good question. Dee-dee-dee. That is a really good question. That is a really, really, really good question. Someone similar to me. Can only think of Jim Carrey. Sorry, that's the only one. Jake Gyllenhaal. I think he could do it because he played Bubble Boy, didn't he? I think Jake Gyllenhaal will be all right. I think so. Should I go with Let's go with Jake. Oh dear. Alex Blackcat, giving the opportunity, would you go for a ride in one of the jets? Oh yeah, please. Yeah, I mean, you could easily do that in an F-15E Strike Eagle. I was thinking about DiCaprio, but I think he would play good. I don't know, he would play pretty good as well, you know. I did think of him then. I was thinking about them more. I don't know, he'd be good at this. Oh dear.
Sometimes they change frequencies. So when Coningsby just changed
Let's have a look. Hang on, let me scroll down. Sorry. Don't want to miss any of your questions there. How's the airfield model getting on? Andrew C, so I've done the footage for that, just got to edit it together, but I might actually just roll this out live. I might just do a live you know what, I could have done it today. I could have done a live about runways. I could have done that today. Yeah, never mind. Oh well. Alex Raven, we ever go to Ramstein? Not yet. One day, not yet. Maybe in a couple of years I will start to venture out into the world. Lead Wizard 09. What's your favourite spotting moment of all time? I think it's got to be. Okay, so moment as in capturing or a successful stream. The most successful stream of the Ted Coningsby channel is the Cosford Air Show. That was a buzz for me. That whole thing was the most amazing experience for me, with 10.7k watching at one point, 2,000 subscribers. It even missed 1,000. It just skipped. It went from, I can't remember what number, it went from 53,000. I went to say, cool, we got 54,000, straight to 55,000 subscribers. Just went to 2,000 subscribers on just that one. And you know, good news is we're doing it again, hopefully, fingers crossed, next year. Trickle dare now. Trickle dare now, I like that. That's a good one. If Nicola Brown's put, Nikos, if you could fly any aircraft, what would it be? If I could fly one, okay. If I could fly one, Typhoon. Let's go Typhoon. Go on, why not? If I could. Let's have a look. Thomas has put SR-71 Blackboard or the B-17. Blackbird or the B-17. I can't answer that because they're completely different. I think it would be unfair to pick one. Yeah, I can't answer that one. I think that's a bit unfair because given what they do and their role, I think it would be unfair. I can't answer that one, sadly. Jenny B, I think I just answered that one. If I could fly any plane. So Eurofighter or F-35B? Yeah, see, I can answer that one. I'd say for me, Typhoon. If I wanted to fly it, if you're asking which is better, I can't answer that because they both have different roles. But for me, I like the Eurofighter more than the F-35B. But that's not to say the F-35B isn't any good, because it's amazing. You see, the F-35B can hover and do a short takeoff. And then again, the Typhoon probably could. Yeah. Lots of you saying about Leonardo. That's funny. Tom Cruise, yeah. Carl Leons, would you like Tom Cruise to play? Yeah, why not? Snowmaster 738. I don't have them all with me. I only bring the ones I need. So I can't show you all the models. I've only got the 2. Never been to Greenham Common. Thanks a lot, everyone, for all your questions. Theo, will I ever visit RAF Shawbury? It was on the list for this year. I just didn't get around to doing it. The weather's just been shocking. I've been trying to get that sorted for today. Alex Blackcat, when are you coming to the US? I think a couple of years' time. I think a couple of years' time. Once I made a few more contacts, I'll be able to do that. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Got so many questions. Thank you so much. That's really cool. Keep the questions going. Let's have a look. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Let's have a look. Let's have a let's have a look. So many, the chat's just scrolling away. Tell you what I need to do before we go while I've got the option up. Just need to, I'm going to get you the little shout outs for you. Now, one sec, let's just get Ted. Ted in his witch's hat. Okay, so Gary Lopton, Witches March for you for being a member for 13 months. Congratulations and thank you for the support. Sorry, Ted, that witch's hat, it's not really doing well today, is it? Keeps, let me try again, let me just, there we go. Try that again. Thanks a lot there, Gary. And wee Stevie boy, Witches March for moggy conditions. Thank you very much. Just Josh17, congratulations. Thank you very much. Thank you for that. Thank you for the super. Rebecca Neal, welcome to the Ted Coningsby Squadron. High five. Car alarm's going off without any aircraft departing. Guards march or a, sorry, a Witches March. We keep doing it, it's habit. Thanks a lot, Rebecca Neal. A Witches March. Welcome to the Ted Coningsby Squadron. Craig Bruce, welcome to the TCS Posh Officers Club. Witches 5 and a Witches March. Christopher Grooms, Witches 5, and a Witches March. Congratulations there. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to the Ted Coningsby Squadron. Sandy Wynn, thank you very much. Glad to know that you're well and safe and well and all good health-wise. Congratulations on 6 months membership with the TCS. Looking forward to the next 6 months. Bless you. Thank you very much. Bless your heart. And also Sandy Wynn with a super chat, another Witches March. Thank you very much. And Diane Brooks as well, member for 12 months. Love the hat. Thank you very much, Diane. Guards March or a Witches March. David Osmond, Witches 5. Welcome to the TCS Posh Officers Club. Witches March, thank you very much. Ginger Bailey, thank you very much for the super. He's put towards some high-vis jackets for the bears. It looks a bit spooky at LN. Witches March, Julian, how you doing, man? Hope you're well, mate. Witches March, LEJ Approach, Witches 5 and a Witches March. Thank you for gifting it. Oh dear, Ted. Margot for Red Ted's toffee apples. Thanks a lot, Margot. Witches March for you. Jan Clark for a nice cup of hot tea. Thanks for your efforts, Nikos. Not easy, but we all love you and the channel and having fun on chat. Just carry on, Ted. Witches March. Chris White, maybe time to go for that burger, Nikos. Does he stock salmon also? Witches March. Yeah, maybe. And Cox, happy Halloween, everyone. Spooky weather time is behind you. Margot, thank you very much. Your Witches March, thank you for the super. Ali Leyland, happy Halloween and happy Halloween to you. Jean, welcome to the Ted Coningsby Squadron. High five. Guards March. Jean, I hope I pronounced that right. Welcome to the Ted Coningsby Squadron. Witches March. Witches March for meth, £2 to more oil to burn off the fog. Witches March, thank you very much. Okay. Let's have a see what we got. So we got Reach 805. That looks like it could be coming here. About half an hour or so, which is a C-17. Oh, that'll be good. For a runway 23. That'll be good. We'll take that. We'll take that. We'll take that.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
So it's possible that we got this C-17 reached 208. Just keep an eye on that on flight radar or ADSB, whichever it is that you use. It's possible. Nothing else at the moment. The Belgian A400 as well, about to take off from Mildenhall as well. But just as we've said that, the weather's just deteriorated a bit more. We'll see. See what's going to happen. But what we'll do, we'll definitely stay for a C-17. At least we got something, and it's a big one. I don't know if I've seen a C-17 land from this runway before, runway 23. I can't remember. I don't think we've got one. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, that's going to certainly fill the screens up, isn't it? Okay, so we've got a C-17 in about half an hour.
It's coming in.
Yeah, it's coming here. But, so I don't think I've ever seen it land from here. It's always been down that end when it's coming, so, oh well. Better than nothing.
Small lens then.
yeah, you don't want to telescope it for that one. Well, we'll take that as a consolation.
I think that's half an hour or 20 minutes.
Let's go 25. There you go, right in the middle. Yeah, it's between 20 and 30.
Well, they're doing some radio checks.
Yeah, I just popped up then. So, yeah. How are we doing, ladies and teddy bears? Hope we're all good. So we are expecting what looks like reach, which is the C-17 that looks like it's taken off from Ramstein Air Base. Be a nice catch though, nice consolation, nice spooky surprise. That'll look quite nice through that mist. If I can aim it right and guess where it's gonna, sort of pierce through the fog, that would be pretty good. Right, so the C-17 is looking good for RAF Lakenheath. Steady Bev. So yeah, the C-17's looking good. It's about to approach UK mainland. It's aiming for good old Yarmouth. It's not too far away. Got here quite swiftly, didn't it? Just about to go over Yarmouth. Very short. And if you haven't done so already, I know it's all about support, not what you've seen today, but give us a thumbs up, hit the like. We've actually nearly got 1,000 likes for a stream where we've seen nothing. Fair play, thank you. That is support right there. And I've kept going, I've kept hoping, just in case. The fog is just really not playing ball today, is it? But we do have a C-17 heading this way, so it's not going to be a blank. And we'll take that. So I better make sure the battery's okay. Can you imagine that? The battery died on my only aircraft. I'm sure we've probably all done that before. Yeah, there's a few people agreeing, I think. Oh dear. Yeah, no, battery's full. It's on 99%. That's good. But it should be here very shortly. Simon John 2003, thank you very much as well. Stephen Billings, how you doing? Hope you're good. Oh, thank you. Yeah, you did have a history lesson and some spooky stories about Lakenheath Charlie as well, who actually does haunt the base. And the story about the Wellington bomber as well that landed here in 1940 when it was a decoy airfield, and it took off, and the officer in the bunker controlling the decoy airfield was asking if it was Mildenhalls or Feltwells, and it was neither, and it took off again. So it could, maybe they were too embarrassed to say, oops, we've landed on the wrong runway. I don't know, but it was never seen again. Got Reach 805 on its way. And 1,000 likes as well. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. Thank you very much. 1,000 likes for no aircraft. Thank you. But you did get history and ghost stories and a bit of fun and a few dares as well, which they were on point today, bless them. Thank you very much, all of you. Thank you for that. That is absolute true support. And if you haven't done so already, we usually have action-packed streams, so do check it out. Do subscribe to our channel. We're only 10 away from 73.5k as well. Babzar, thank you very much. Christopher Carr, thank you. Edward Coates, that's 1k likes for a misty Lakenheath. Yeah, Linda Bailey, absolutely. It's all about the community. We've said that, and that's the one thing that differentiates our you know, our fun community. You know, it's not, we don't just, you know, I've always set out, you know, at first I didn't have this mindset. I just, you know, got my phone and started filming, and here we are, me and Ted, just at random places. But it's established itself not only as a military aviation channel, but it's turned into I've got a visitor, I've got a VIB, a very important bear, and he must be a bit warm. And all the way from London is Paddington. Here he is. Our guest bear, who's feeling a bit warm in this fog by the looks of it. If anyone's got any marmalade, I'm sure he's gonna make some marmalade sandwiches. We've got Paddington Bear here, who's not too unfamiliar with fog. There's plenty of the London fog that I'm sure Paddington experiences. And yeah, well, thank you very much for. You excited about the C-17? You are. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good, mate. Cool. Well, beats taking the train, doesn't it? Yeah, nice one. All right, it was lovely to have you on the show, Paddington. And you take care, mate. Yeah. And off he goes. There you go. Don't worry. Hey, how you doing, man? All right. Oh, bless you. You haven't missed anything, but there is a C-17 coming.
Hold this for a minute. I want to take a photo.
Sure. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, Ted's here. Oh, with his witch's hat, yeah. He's got his best of his broomstick as well. Look. Oh, yeah, it's aviation, isn't it? I don't know what the thrust to weight ratio is on that. So, it's you can air to air refuel it with a boomstick. Sorry. Oh dear. Nice one. Right, let's not miss this C-17. Let's have a look approaching Deptford. Right, it's very close. Huh? Usually, yeah. There or there. Yeah. Right, C-17 time, not far. It's at Thetford, I think.
watching it today, lately. They're just on, I'm looking around the focus.
And have they done the barriers on here yet? Is that why it's turning around? It's probably holding off because it. Sure, they would have had the barriers done already.
The last time
See the weather, it's
Should start to see a follow me vehicle at some point.
I think that the weather over in Europe somewhere. Avatar is out of that one.
Lorraine at the Maddox Ramblings, how you doing? Hope you're good. Joshua Haddock, how you doing? Hope you're good.
yeah, but it will be difficult.
Come on, Reach 805, come on. Right, it's just holding at the moment. Just going to see if they've got. They would have had the barriers reconfigured. Or the heavy. Come on.
At least it's not raining.
Exactly. Oh wow.
It's a longer drive from
Just for one plane.
I know. It is. Yeah, it's a big one though. At least it's a massive plane. At least it's, you know.
Even longer drive from here. Looks like Dad's always already warned us today.
Don't need to put one on there.
Exactly.
Then you tell me you're there to dress me. Why is it quiet then?
I've never been.
Some point we're going to go to
Oh yeah, There's the catwalk, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the catwalk. Okay, he's gonna go for it. He's gonna try. Here we go. He's gonna attempt it. Did he say hold? No. Did he say hold or turn? Okay, no, he's fine. He's good to go. He's going to attempt it. Okay. All right. Well, we haven't had an aircraft all day, but we do have a huge C-17 on its way. Here we go. Give it a go. Fair play to it.
It's 15 miles out.
It's log. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Right.
Nie, bo on nie wyląduje się, to przelot...
Clear to land, here we go. Reach 805.
Jeszcze szybko!
go at it. Oh, I'm not sure, but hey. Hang on. That was a nice sound. Anyone actually see that? Yeah, I think he's just going to have another go at it. I don't know what happened there. Oh, what's that? Hello, you alright mate? How you doing? Good. Yeah, it's like a ghost C-17 that was in it. I'm just gonna have to just be patient. Oh man, our only aircraft potentially for the whole day. Come on. Let's leave it on the catwalk just for a second. Vehicle approaching at the minute. It's going about 1 mile an hour. Literally, I'd say 1 mile an hour.
Tym razem niestety nie było tak, że jak przyjechaliśmy to od razu było.
Chociaż to lepsze niż kiedy przyjedziemy i już jestem chociaż to lepsze. Bo można odpocznąć i potem ten samochód. Żeby mój ptak poleciał po ten samolot. Co, żeby mój ptak poleciał?
Not sure what it's doing at the minute. It might be trying again. It is a heavy aircraft, the C-17. Come from the HQ of the 3rd Air Force at Ramsden Air Base, RAF Lakenheath 48 Fighter Wing, along with 9 other wings and components are part of the 3rd Air Force, and the HQ's in Ramsden Air Base in Germany. It's one of the 4 original numbered air forces. The 3rd Air Force, long history, predates World War II, and it's a product of over 80 years of legacy. The 3rd Air Force issues directives to subordinate commands and takes action on behalf of the United States Air Force in Europe, USAFE, and Air Forces in Africa as well. The 3 Air Force units of the 3rd Air Force are the 31st Fighter Wing, the 406th Air Expeditionary Wing, the 48th Fighter Wing, 435th Air Ground Operations Wing, the 86th Airlift Wing, 39th Air Base Wing, 100th Air Refueling Wing, 52nd Fighter Wing, the 501st Combat Support Wing, and the Heavy Airlift Wing.
Ciekawe jakoś nadają
Welcome to the Halloween special. We've had nothing. Oh man, but hey, we've had fun though. We've had fun. We've got 1,000 likes as well. Impressive.
Nie będziemy.
Może to nie trzeba.
Najgorsze z tą kamerą, kiedy leciał właśnie za nami, moim kamerą mówiło please turn off, a on nie mogłam zrobić zdjęcia.
Żeby był resetach, czy nie?
Co?
Żebyś tu
A spokojnie.
Here we go again, part 2. Here we go, on its way again. Part 2. Little try. I think it just needed to have a little check, see what it was up against. Yeah, it was spooky, it was nice hearing. Where do you work?
Na 100% już jesteśmy na filmie.
Tak, ja idę.
Ja też już jestem. To co nie jest.
Go again. Not far now, here we go. Over the Stanford training area. Not far now. Julie Beard, how you doing?
schodzisz, tak?
To jest taki wielki, to jest największy.
Większy żart do tego? Tak zwani wielki.
1.1k watching. Thank you very much, all of you who have supported the channel today. If you haven't done so already, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. It's free to do so. Smash that like button as well on the way, and you've been cleared to land on the like button. And of course, come and join the Ted Coningsby channel. Although we usually have action-packed streams, it's, you know, now and again, very rarely, we do get the occasion like this, but here we go. Okay, just lining up now using the ILS, runway 23. Thanks a lot. Just need 5 more subscribers to set us up for the feels like a Friday because I'm here for the end of the week, but of course we've got one more show which is looking a bit emotional already for tomorrow at RAF Mildenhall, but we'll see. As soon as it gets to as soon as it gets over Brandon, I'll turn the camera around. At the moment it's thick fog all round. Three more to go. 3 subscribers. Nice one. Thank you very much. And also thank you to Sharon Chapman for gifting a Ted Coningsby membership. Clear to land. Here we go. Clear to land. Here we go. If it doesn't land, then pilot wasn't comfortable with it. So brace yourselves. Here we go. Come on. Not sure how late we're going to see this through this thick fog. It's going to be a sight, this is, isn't it, through this fog. Oi, oi! Here we go. Wow, this sounds amazing already. Here we go. Oh, spooky! Happy Halloween. Well, there we go, our only aircraft of the day, and it was a big one. It was a Gurnt plane, as Reggie would say. As it just disappears into the mist. And the fog. Look at this, it's gone.
We saw you earlier in the year. What a legend. You're totally at the top of your game with your
Amazing. Right. Well, ladies and gents, teddy bears, I've got a feeling that is it. I think that is our lot for the day. Just that. I know it's been fun though. We've had some good bit of fun. Conditions are absolutely poor today. Can't see it clearing now. Even with the C-17 trying its best to make some room. Go. Well, ladies, gents, teddy bears, thank you very much for tuning in today. It's been cold with no views of the F-15s or the F-35 sadly, but we did get that. What a great way to end it with the C-17, I guess. And I just want to wish everyone a happy Halloween, and whatever it is you may be doing. It could be nearly over wherever you are watching, or just the beginning. And well, thank you all so much for tuning in. Ted Coningsby channel. Ted, you're right there, mate. Oh dear. Well, we got there in the end. We did get something for you at least. Anyway, it was a lovely, lovely, huge C-17, and there we go. These things happen, and can't wait to bring you some more action tomorrow, ladies, gents, and teddy bears. But happy Halloween, safe trick or treat in today or tonight if you're doing that, and of course, and we'll catch you tomorrow, ladies, gents, teddy bears. Ted and I are off to Woodhall Spa to go and see who the next Typhoon display pilot is. Ladies, gents, teddy bears, it's been a pleasure. My name's Nikos. I've been your cameraman and commentator. This is our squadron leader, Ted Coningsby, and we've been live here at RAF Lakenheath. So 48 Fighter Wing, thank you very much for today, and hope you get some flying in very soon. So, ladies, gents, teddy bears, so for the last time for today, see you soon. Wish you well. See ya.
Golf India, Bright 31, right to the 813.